What's going on, guys? My name is Elias. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to detail exactly what this thing has cost me since I bought it. You know, the whole story of me buying it, how much it's cost me, the maintenance on it, everything from A to Z on what this thing has cost me. Now, I've owned this thing, surprisingly to you guys, since about September, October of 2022. Today, I'm filming this. It is March of 2024. So, like I should show you, I don't really drive any of my cars that much. I work from home, I'm a new father, etc. So I don't really get to drive that much. I've put probably about 5,000 or 6,000 miles on this car in that last year and a half. But there are some things that you're going to need to upgrade slash update and just regular maintenance that you're going to have to do with any car. So let me tell you guys exactly what the costs have been and to let you guys know if you're interested in buying one of these, if it's worth it for you guys. So let's go and take a little drive, enjoy the car, and talk about the costs. So, what did this cost me originally? Let's talk about what this car is, right? This is a 2009 Corvette C6 Z06. They all came in 6-speed manual. They all came with a 7-liter LS7s. Beautiful engine. It's got its issues, but it's a beautiful engine. And it's in Jetstream blue. It's a beautiful color of blue. I mean, I can't get over the fact that how beautiful this blue is. It's not dark blue. It's not light blue. It's kind of a mixture of both, depending on how the sun hits it and how the light hits it. Currently the light's in my face, but hopefully it comes out okay on the camera. And yeah, it's a nice car. These are usually in the market for around $40,000 to $45,000. And for that price, I think they're more than worth it. And they're awesome cars. Now remember, this is back in September, October of 2022. Seems like a long time ago, but it doesn't feel like that long. But it was quite a while ago, and it was kind of still as the car market was going nuts. And so I really wasn't even looking for a car like this. I wasn't looking to buy something like this. I was actually in the market for the FL5 Civic Type R. Now, if you guys know anything about the FL5 Civic Type R, even the FK8s, you know that dealerships are just terrible to deal with. More on that in a minute. If you've been following along, you know all the issues I've had with dealerships. Now, if you haven't been following along and you like these kind of videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you like these videos, hit the like button. It really helps out. Anyway, if you've been following along, you know I've always had issues with dealerships. They haven't really treated me that well. I kind of get annoyed when I have to deal with dealerships. And I mean, the problem is they are their own individual businesses, right? So they're privately owned usually. Or some of them are, you know, a lot of them have been acquired to big conglomerates these days. But they're very annoying to deal with, and honestly, I don't like dealing with them at all. It's a losing proposition when you're dealing with dealerships. And so I was looking for an FL5 Civic Type R when it was coming out late last year, and nobody was giving me the time of day. Everybody wanted $20,000 over MSRP, so I'm like, you know what, screw it. Don't need any of that. I saw this. I was on not on Craigslist, Car Gurus. It was Car Gurus. I was just searching around like all car enthusiasts that I know always do on Facebook Marketplace, etc. But I was just scrolling around, seeing what was there, seeing what was not. And I saw this come up. And again, the market's around $40,000, $42,000 for cars like this. This came up. This car has had 60,000 miles on it. It was a one owner, so original owner car. Never been in an accident before. You can see clean Carfax. I've inspected it. All the panels are original. And it was listed for $35,000. And you could tell it was listed so it was listed like maybe 10 minutes before I got online to look at it. So it was just kind of happened by chance. It was like kind of a chance meeting per se. So I was like, well, wait a minute. This C6 Z06 is available. Hey, I might as well see if I can buy it. I doubt I can. By now, somebody probably already bought it. So I called the guy up. I'm like, hey, I want to take a look at the C6 Z06. he was in Arizona, and long story short, he was an older gentleman, really nice guy. He told me he had a lot of offers already, and people wanted to pick it up, people wanted to get it, but he wanted to get this car to a good home because it's got some sentimental value to him. So this guy bought this brand new from the factory, and he got every option he could. And he was explaining to me how this was his dream car. It was basically around the time he's gonna get retired. He was an engineer, an aircraft engineer. Actually, he, you know those screens on the airplanes? He was the one that, he's the one that helped engineer those screens. So he's always, you know, going to the airport and taking care of, you know, issues with airplanes, and I believe he works for Boeing, I forget. But anyway, smart guy, and he said, well, I wanted to go to a good home. All of the offers he was getting was for the price he was asking, $35,000, but they were all dealerships that were going to resell it, and who knows what was going to happen to the car afterwards. So he liked me. I couldn't believe he accepted my offer. Went through the process, sent him money, and then sent a enclosed trailer to pick up the car. So $35,000 plus, let's say about $800 to $1,000. It was like $1,000. Let's just say $1,000 for the transport and all that, and you know, paperwork. And so for $36,000, I got what I think is a screaming deal for this car. This is an awesome car for that amount of money. 36 grand is a steal. And at least I think so. Let me know in the comments if you guys disagree or agree. If I think I got a good deal, let me know in the comments if you think it's a good deal. This is a dead animal here. What is this? No. Looks like a dead cow, but it wasn't. I live in very rural Florida, in case you guys didn't know. So I get this car, and I'm like, all right. I didn't do a pre-purchase inspection, which I should have done. I kind of just trusted the guy to kind of let me know what was going on with it. But I do the battery of testing that I usually do. I change the oil in it immediately. I look around and see, like, you know what? This car's not bad. The guy wasn't lying to me. He told me that the tires were really old, and they are, and that the car would need an oil change 6 months later, which I did immediately. The brakes are brand new, which they are, and that's exactly what it was. For once, I trusted a guy on the internet and I didn't get burned. I wouldn't do that if I were you, but it worked out for me. Right, so I did that oil change. How much did that cost me? I did it myself. I don't know, let's call it 80 bucks in oil. It's a lot of oil. I put Mobil 1 synthetic 0W40, which is what I use in most of my cars for no particular reason. It's done well for me, so I don't have a reason to change it. And it's been running really well ever since. I haven't paid attention to anything else that's I need to change on it. More on that in another video. But it's a really good car. I was expecting issues, right? I know the engine needs to be renovated, and I will decide to do that once I decide to keep this car. But until I decide to keep it, I'm not going to touch the engine. I'm not going to take it to the track. So I'm trying to mitigate that issue by not taking the car to the track. And for $37,000 all in, you know, let's say I change the tires, let's say I change a couple other things, let's call it 40 grand. For 40 grand, did I get a good deal? Considering this car's MSRP, this car right here we're sitting in, the MSRP for this car with the optional paint and all the options that it has, it was $80,520. Listen to this again, $80,520 for this car was paid back in 2009. That's an insane amount of money in 2009. That's an insane amount of money today. But in 2009, the equivalent today would be about $120,000, which makes you think, hey, that's actually what the new C8 Z06s are going for. They're going for about $120,000, $140,000, that range, right? If you buy one brand new, you're basically going to be spending minimum $115K out the door. So I think the price has kept up with inflation. That's very interesting to me. The thing that gets me about this car is that $80,000, I got it for less than half the price, not inflation adjusted. If you adjust for inflation, I got this car for a third of the price. And I think that's because the engine's reliability issues is very well known on the internet. People know that they have to deal with that. But for the performance you get, I mean, you can't beat it. So if I'm going to keep this car, I'm going to have to spend at least another $3,000 to $4,000 to get the heads addressed and get a tune on it, because I'll do a little bit of a cam, you know. I'll likely do a couple of modifications to the suspension, all that. Let's say all in, after modifications, I'm $45,000 into this. For 45 grand to have a car that has 500 horsepower, that weighs 3,200 pounds, that is a manual. It's the price of a brand new Civic Type R. Which, going back to the beginning of the story, you remember I was trying to buy that Civic Type R. No dealerships were playing ball. It pissed me off. Pissed me off so much that instead I bought a used Corvette. And here we are. So, considering all of that, and the fact that, you know, it was a little bit of a pain in the ass to deal with the transaction between Arizona and here, Florida, and everything I've done to the car, everything I will do to the car, this is really hard to beat for the price. If you're considering buying a performance car, understand that this car right here is one of the best deals that you're gonna get. Best horsepower to dollar ratio, best performance to dollar ratio you're gonna find. It's a beautiful looking car. I don't regret a minute of it. So if you guys are in the market, head over to that marketplace, and I do recommend buying you guys one of these. It's a lovely car, and it does many good things that most people don't even understand. Yes, straight line acceleration is great, but other than the vague steering, the kind of the vague chassis, it really does corner very well. That short wheelbase makes it corner very well. Very impressed with this car. What do you guys think? Again, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time. Peace.